Okay, hello everyone. Hopefully you all can see me. My name is Christina Vincent and welcome to the Palos Heights Public Library virtual program. I'm glad you all could join us. We are here today to talk about Microsoft OneDrive Cloud Basics. But before we all get started, I will let you know about some of our upcoming programs. Just give me one moment. Here, I'm going to pull up. Here we go. Let me share the screen again. Sorry about that. Here we are. Okay. Here are some of our upcoming programs. We have our summer reading going on right now until the end of July. And then we have next Monday, our first in-person trivia night at the Harvest Room. Make sure you do sign up for that because there's limited space for that. Then next Wednesday, July 20th at 6:30 p.m., we have On the Beach, North Carolina's Barrier Islands. And then Tuesday, July 26th at 6:30 p.m., we have The Art of Paul Cézanne. And then in August 4th, at Thursday at 7 p.m., we have Songs Around the Campfire, promoting the end of our summer reading program. So that's a big event for the end of summer reading. And then on Monday, August 8th, we have YouTube Basics virtual program at 2 p.m. Hosted by me. So if you want to learn more about using YouTube, you can come to that program. Here we go. Going to minimize that. And then some housekeeping before we start the program. I do have you all muted right now, so we don't have any accidental interruptions, but I can unmute you during our Q&A portions at the end. Or if you have any questions throughout the class, there should be a little chat function at the top or bottom of your screen. It looks like a little speech bubble. You can just type in any questions in there and I can answer them throughout the class. So without any further ado, let's get started on OneDrive. Pull this up here. Here we go. Also, let me know throughout if there's any trouble seeing anything. Oh, that's okay. If you leave early. If you have anything to do, feel free if you have to leave. We are recording this. Make sure it's recording. Yes, we are recording this, and it will be posted on our YouTube page within 24 to 48 hours. So if you miss anything, it will be on our YouTube page later. Going forward. There we go. First up is the agenda, what we'll try to cover throughout the class today. Introduction to the cloud and what the cloud is. Then working with files and folders within your OneDrive. Sharing those files and folders with others. Searching for files and folders within your OneDrive. And then if we have any time, moving beyond the basics. So, introduction to OneDrive. What is cloud and cloud storage and cloud sharing? Sorry, give me one moment. OneDrive is a cloud storage solution that allows you to keep all your files in one place and access them from any device. So the cloud is basically this large sharing and network service in the storage area that you're able to access from any device as long as you have your login credentials. So for example, with just a normal hard drive, you're able to save files onto it, but you're only able to access that hard drive from one device, such as your home computer or your maybe handheld device. But what the cloud does is you're able to store those files just like a hard drive, but you're able to access that from any device as long as you have your login credentials. So you can access your files from your home computer, or you can access them from a handheld device, or even the computers and laptops here at the library. And you're able to easily share those files with others as long as you give them access to those files, usually with a password or something like that. And OneDrive usually has about 5 gigabytes of storage for free, but you can usually buy more, or you can get more sometimes if your work company has access to a OneDrive. Maybe they have access to more storage through their agreements with OneDrive. File storage considerations. We consider the drive storage capacity. So, for example, since OneDrive usually only comes with about 5 gigabytes of storage free, that's usually less than what your home PC might have, but you can access it from anywhere. Emails and attachments in Outlook, which is an email service tied with OneDrive. Emails and attachments count towards that storage limit. But you can have increased storage for a monthly fee. Also, file compatibility. Nearly all file types and sizes can be uploaded. So if you have older version of Word, that file type is compatible with OneDrive. And then Microsoft Office files can be converted into Google files very easily, and vice versa. So to access OneDrive, you can either create just a OneDrive account, or you can have an Outlook email, and then you're able to access OneDrive that way. Both are free to get. You will just have to pay extra if you want extra space, extra storage. So you would just sign in to your Outlook email or create one. And then you can see in the upper left-hand portion of this image what looks like 9 little squares. That opens up the apps menu in OneDrive, in Outlook. And then you can see OneDrive listed there, along with Outlook email, Word Online, Excel Online, PowerPoint Online, OneNote, SharePoint, and lots of other ones. But OneDrive is in the top right there in that image. Or if you want to access OneDrive straight from OneDrive and not from Outlook, you can go to that web address right there, and that will pull up a sign-in page, and you can sign in straight into OneDrive. I'll also, if anyone wants, I can send you the links in an email after class, if anyone wants the links that I show in this class afterwards. And then navigating OneDrive. At first, it may look quite busy, but it's actually quite easy once you get the hang of it. I will start on the left side here with the search bar that allows you to search all of the files you have in your OneDrive. Right underneath that is the navigation pane where it will list your username. So mine is Christina Vincent. Then the first one is files, and that will just have a list of all of your files. Underneath that, where it says recent, you can search by your most recently used files. And then underneath that is shared. That is any files that have been shared with you from another user. So you are probably not the person who created the file, someone else did, but they shared it with you. So that's where you can find shared files. And then underneath that is the recycle bin. And that will have any files that you have deleted recently from OneDrive. We'll go a little bit more into that later, but it keeps the files that you've deleted for 30 days and then it completely wipes them. So if there's any files you might accidentally deleted, you can restore them from there. And now along the top middle, that is where you can see create and upload options, where it says new and there's a little blue plus. That is where you can create a file right in OneDrive. So it will use Microsoft Online or something like that to create the new file, depending on what file type you select. And then upload is where you can upload a file from your device you're using, whether it be a phone or a computer or a laptop. If you have a file saved on your computer, you can upload it to OneDrive, so then you can access it from any device. The other most important one is sync. That will sync any files or copy any files that you have on your computer right to OneDrive. So if you want to do a whole bunch at once, you can sync. Below that is where it will list all your files. You can see I have two right there. One is a folder actually, and one is a document, a Word document. And below those two documents or two is where it says drag files here to upload. So that is another way you can upload files. Instead of just clicking on upload, you can have your file explorer from your computer open and OneDrive open. You can have them next to each other and you can just drag a file from your file explorer right into OneDrive if you want to do it that way. And then on the far right, near the top, is where you will see notifications, where you can access settings, and where you can look at your account if you want to change anything on your account. That is all up in the upper right there. And then also right below that on the right, you will see folders. Right there, it says files, but it's a file folder, where if you have lots of different folders, you will see them all listed there, and you can click through them that way to find the folder that you need. So there is the main page of OneDrive when you first open it. Working with files and folders, you can manage existing files and folders from your computer or other device by uploading it to the cloud. You can, when working with OneDrive, you can either upload a single file at a time or an entire folder from your computer all at once. And you can organize those files within OneDrive into folders and subfolders. And you can also delete and download files from OneDrive as needed. So again, when you are uploading files to OneDrive, you will click either on the upload in the upper left, or you can drag files. But let's focus first on if you click on upload, and then they will have a little drop-down menu when you click on upload, and it will let you select whether you want to upload a single file or if you want to upload an entire folder. Click on which one you want, and it will open the file explorer on your device. You can search through and find the file or the folder that you need. You would click on it, so then it's highlighted blue, and then you would click on open in the bottom of your file explorer. You can also, again, as a little tip I have in the bottom there, you can just click and then drag the file or folder that you want to upload into the empty area on the OneDrive page. But sometimes I find it easiest just to go through the steps of clicking on the button just to make sure. it uploads correctly. And then to manage the files that you have now uploaded onto OneDrive, you can right-click on the file using your mouse, and it gives a little drop-down menu, and you can see what you can do with the file. You can either share it with another person, you can copy the link to the file, and you could share that link with someone. You can delete the file, and it will go to your recycle bin. You can move it to another file or another folder in your OneDrive if you want it in a different folder than where it was. You can copy to, which will duplicate the file, and then you are able to have 2 copies of it, one in one folder and one in another folder. You can rename the file to something else, or if you click on details, it will give you details of the file, usually what file type it is, how large it is, when it was originally created or downloaded to OneDrive, things like that. Staying organized on OneDrive, very good to do with your folders. You can group files together, whether they're related to the same project or topic or not. And you can also create what's called subfolders, so a folder within a folder for more in-depth organization. Here, the little image shows that we're in the files. And right next to where it says files, it says summer reading. That is the name of the currently selected folder that you are in. I see one question has come up. Let me see what it is. Is there any way to disable OneDrive? As far as I know, if you have an Outlook email, it comes free with OneDrive. So there's no real way to disable it, but you can just, if you have an Outlook email, you can just choose to not use OneDrive, because it only really works if you upload things to it. So if you just choose not to upload any of your files to OneDrive when you use Outlook, it will just be empty if you don't use it. Okay, so using OneDrive folders. So to create a new folder or subfolder, when you click on new, it will give you the option to create a new folder right at the top there. And then when you click on the new folder, it will give you the option to name the folder immediately. You can also choose to name it at a later date or change the name at a later date. But you'll probably have to call it something, or you can just call it Untitled. And then you click on Create. Then when you're in a folder as well, you can have the option to create a new subfolder within that folder. And then moving files between folders. 2 options are available when moving files to a new folder. One, you can drag and drop the file to a new folder. So you would just click on the file, and then you have to click and hold with your mouse and then drag it. Or again, you can right-click on the document, and it will give you the option to move to. And when you click it, it will have a new menu that pops up that asks you which and then it will do it that way. You can also create Office documents right in OneDrive. So instead of doing it from your computer, you can create a document right in OneDrive. And sometimes that's helpful if you know it's going to be like a long document or you're going to be working on this file for a long time. Sometimes having it, making it right in OneDrive is nice because you can make it on several different devices. So you can start working on it at one, but you know later in the day you're going to be in a different area, and then you can work it on a new device. So that is a nice option. So you can keep editing the documents from different devices. But to create a new document, you will click on New and choose the type of Office document you need, whether it's a Word document, an Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, lots of different options to create. And then modify OneDrive documents. All changes to OneDrive files are automatically saved to OneDrive, so you don't have to worry about losing any of your progress, because as you're creating the file, it automatically saves whenever you're making any adjustments to the file. It saves constantly every few seconds, so you don't have to worry about losing any of it because it will be in OneDrive. And the layout and the way it works is very similar to the Word or the Excel you would have on your home computer. Again, downloading a file. When you want to download a file from OneDrive or to your home computer, again, you would have to be on the device that you want to save the document to, whether it's your home computer or a handheld device. You have to save it on the device that you want it on. But you can save to your local hard drive and now open the file on your PC without having to have OneDrive open. And you can also, it's an easier way to share with any non-Microsoft user. So if someone doesn't have Microsoft on their device, you can send it in an email to them by downloading the document to your device and then sending it to them. So again, you would have to right-click on the file you want to save, and then there will be an option to download it. Click on download, and it will open up, it should open up your file explorer on your computer and ask you where you want to save it on your computer. It will usually automatically try to save it into your downloads folder. But if you want it in your documents folder, something like that, you'll have to tell it to put it in your documents folder. And then viewing files on OneDrive, if you just want to view the file, you will have to double click with the left mouse button on the file that you want to look at. And then usually, if you have access to that file, you usually are able to make edits. This also is the preview window. A lot of times when you first open a file on OneDrive, it gives you like a preview mode of it. But then you can either fully open the file. As you can see on the leftmost side of the image here, there's the open file that will fully open the file so you can view it. It will give you a print option. If you're connected to a printer, you can print out the file. This is also another spot where you can download the file to the device you're on. You'll also see options to share or copy the link of the file. We'll get into that in just a moment, but this is also where you can share or copy the link for others to view the file. We also have an option to delete the file from here, and it will go into your recycle bin. This is also where you can make a copy of the file and place it in another folder and also where you can see the version history. Version history is, again, gives details of the file when it was created, maybe when was the last time it was saved, stuff like that. And then also on the far right is where you can see 1 of 1 that shows what page you're on of the preview. And also the X is where it will close out of the preview and you will return back to OneDrive. There we are. I'm going to give a brief pause if anyone has any questions so far on what we've gone over, or if you need something re-explained in different wording, something like that, let me know. I put any questions in the chat, which is either at the top or the bottom of your screen. It looks like a little speech bubble. Otherwise, I can continue on, but feel free to put any questions or comments in there. Going on to deleting files from OneDrive. Again, when you delete a file, it's going to go into what's called the recycle bin. You can either, first you will click on the file, so it's highlighted. You can kind of see in gray, and also there's a blue check mark next to it. That means the file is highlighted right now. And then when the file is highlighted, you will click on the little trash icon. It says delete. At the top of the screen there, I have it circled in red. When you delete it, it will go into the recycle bin, and the files remain in the recycle bin for 30 days. And then after that, they are permanently deleted. So if you find that you accidentally deleted something, you can go to the recycle bin. It is on the left side of the screen, right underneath shared there. You can see I have it highlighted. And you will see all of the files you have deleted within the last 30 days. If you click on it again, so it's gray and the little blue check mark is next to it, you have 2 options there. You have the restore, which means it will put it back into the file it was before. So if you had it like in a special file, it will go back to that special file you had it in before. Or you can press delete on it and that will permanently delete it early. So if you want to definitely want to get rid of something, you know you're not going to need it anymore, you can delete it from your recycle bin, and then it is gone. You cannot restore it once it's gone. Now, sharing files and folders with others. This is quite easy if they also have a OneDrive or Outlook account. But this will allow others to access files and folders of your choosing. So if you're working on a group project for something, this is an easy way for everyone to make changes to one file. They can also view, download, or edit files. So easy to collaborate with colleagues on projects, or to send files to friends or clients. So if they need, or you want to send your vacation photos to somebody, you can do it this way. But you can share with Outlook and non-Outlook users, unless this is a business account. So example, here at the library, we have Outlook, but we cannot share any of the files or anything we work on with anyone besides the other librarians that work here. We can't send it to any other Outlook emails that are not from the library. So to share files or folders, again, you got to click on the file so it's highlighted gray or has the little blue check mark next to it. And then there is a share icon either at the top of the screen there, or a lot of times when you have a file highlighted, there's a little share icon just to the right of it there. You would click on it and it'll have another window pop up where you can either enter the name of the recipient, or if you know their email address, you can type in the email address. Then you can also add a little additional message to it, such as this is a file for so-and-so, or please make edits on this. You can add a little message to it. And then you would click on send, and it would send email to the recipient saying that this file has been shared with you, and then they'll be able to click. They'll have a little option to click on the email, and they would be able to access the file or folder that you are sharing with them. This is what the email would look like. So you can see that I shared a file to myself, but it was just an example. But they will shows that this person shared a document with you. It would also have any of the additional message if you wanted, would be right there. And it tells them what type of file it is, what the name of the file is, and then right there where it says open, they can click on it, and then it would send them directly to the file that you shared with them. Files shared with you. So again, you would open up that email and you would see it, and then it would take you to the shared side there on the left. So show any files that have been shared specifically with me. There's also, you can see next to it on the right there, shared by me. So I could click on that and I could see all the files I have shared with others. Shared with me, though, unfortunately does not allow any subfolders to be created. It's just whatever folders have been shared with you, that's what shows up. Fortunately here, anything that's shared with me, it does not count towards the file size of my storage, because technically it is in somebody else's OneDrive and they are just sharing that portion of their OneDrive with me. So fortunately, it does not take up any additional space in my storage. And then deleting shared files only removes it from your OneDrive. If you were to delete a file shared with you, it does not affect the original owner's OneDrive. However, if you delete any files from your OneDrive, it will affect anyone you shared it with, because they will not be able to access it anymore once you delete it. Here we go. One moment, sorry. Managing files shared with you in OneDrive. Again, right-clicking on a document provides you with a little drop-down menu. You can open it, rename the file. It will only affect the name in your OneDrive, not anyone else's. You can also delete the file, and it will only delete it from your OneDrive, not the original owners. You can share it with more people, so you can share it with others, sending either sending them an email, or you can copy the link to the file and send the link in an email. You can remove it from your shared list, and also you can get more details on the file. Again, to get just a link to the file, or what's called a shareable link, you can do it as a hyperlink. And this will allow you to share with anyone, anywhere. So you do not have to, when you get a shareable link, You can do it not only as an email, or you can also send it as like a text message if your device has that capability, or you can send it as on other messaging services such as Facebook Messenger, other such things as that. So it's not then limited to just an email. You can send it anywhere that allows you to post links. So again, very similar. We would have to select the file and click on share either at the top or the right. And then instead of typing in a name or email address, you would just click on the part that says copy link. And then it opens up a third screen where you can see the hyperlink link posted there. You would click on copy, and then you'll be able to paste the link again, either in a text message if your device has a capability, or another message, or in a different email if you didn't want to do it through Outlook. You want to do it through something else. But again, as in the caution on the bottom there, obtaining a shareable link makes the file available to any internet user who has the hyperlink. So you don't usually want to post it in any public forum, say like on your Facebook page or just in anywhere, because then anyone who can click that link can get to the document and make edits. So usually you still want to send it in a private message if you're using a link. Searching for files and folders within OneDrive. There are different search methods. You can either search by keywords, the name of the file, or if you use keywords, it may search the entire content of the file. But you can search for files and folders again in the very top left of OneDrive, where it says search everything. There you can search by keyword or by name. They do have at least some filters. If you're searching by keyword, you can filter date. So when it would have been, the document would have been created. You can search by file type. So if you know you're looking for a Word document, you can check for Word documents only. Otherwise, if you know you're looking, say, for a photo, there's an option just to search for through your photos. And then the bottom there, it says search by person. If you know it was shared by a certain person, you can search by what all that person has sent you. You can type in the person's name or email address there. Now, going beyond the basics of OneDrive, this is where I'll show you where you can review OneDrive settings. And then I also have some additional learning resources that you can look through. Accessing the OneDrive settings. Again, it is the gear icon, and it's going to be at the top right of your screen. This is where you can modify display, notification preferences, and more. Also, right next to it is the bell icon. That is where notifications come in. That will where, say, somebody has shared something with you. You can see that in the notifications. In settings, you can search through settings if you're looking for something specific. You can also see site settings, theme settings, how your Outlook looks. You can set what your start page looks like. You can select whether you have notifications on or off. This is also where you can change your password, restore your OneDrive. That's only if some error were to occur, or like you want to restore OneDrive to neutral settings. That is also where you can find it. And then you can see more app settings for Office 365 if you have it, for your mail, for your calendar, and for your contacts or people. There you go. And then here I have some additional resources. This one, GCF Learn Free. This has a lot of tips for not only OneDrive, but other texts as well. So here I have it pulled up. Great, GCF Global. And I have this as an introduction for Microsoft account and also OneDrive, so getting started. So again, if anyone wants these links, I can send them to you after class. Just email me back from where you got the link to this class, christina.v@phlibrary.org. Let me know, and I can send you an email back with all of the links. Okay. Yes, Darlene. Yeah, you can send me an email and I can email you back with the links. Also, another one. This is the Microsoft Support official website. Again, it has a nice little walkthrough of exploring OneDrive. Some more about security for OneDrive, how to make sure you're backing up your files. OneDrive on mobile, so if you want to use it on your phone, they have a little walkthrough of it. But yes, the official Microsoft support website is here as well. Okay, that is actually everything I had for today, but again, I'm going to open it up for any questions anyone might have. Here we go. Also give you the option to unmute if you want. But thank you all for coming. Hopefully you all learned a little something about OneDrive. I will be sending out the additional links for the other learning resources and support sites. How to start a file for others to share with. Sure. So let me pull up my own OneDrive here. So I would go to OneDrive here, and you can, so let's say, for example, I wanted to create a new document here. I would click on it, and I'm going to open and create a new document. Give me one moment. There we go. So this is a new document. Here it is here. And I can, right from this document, share it. I can do it either from this screen here. And you can see here, I have the share options here. Or if I select the document, it gives me the option to share right up here. I also can do it straight from the document as well. I can click on share here, and I can either copy link or share. If I click on share, it's going to open up this right here, and then I would type in the email, type it in, or it gives me an option from my most used contacts, but I can also click it in here. Let's say I want to share it to this person. You can see now they're here. I can share to multiple people at once. I would just keep in typing in the emails or the names I want to share it to. I have an optional for a message here. This is a test for class. And then once I hit send, it will send an email to all of them that they now have an option to open up the document, or I can click on copy, and that will copy a link. This here will copy a link for me to copy and paste into wherever I want, whether it's a text message or a private message to someone on anything like Facebook or Twitter or any other kind of social media. So I can do that. Make sure I shared it though to myself. There it is. And now I hit send. It's going to send an email out. I should have sent out an email. Give me one moment. Let me now go to my Outlook and let me make sure it sent out an email to myself. It may take a couple minutes sometimes to send out the email, but here it is right here. And you can see that I shared a file with myself, and it will show the name of the file here, what type of file it is. It says this link will work for anyone who has the email. And I just click open, and now it should open the document again. Here it is, document 3. So that hopefully that answered your question. Let me know if that did. Hopefully that did. Well, that's how you quickly start a document and share it with someone. And then you can see it also has little highlights of who is working on the document at the moment. I am working on the document at the moment. But you can, if several people are working on a document at once, you will see different little color cursors, and you'll see everybody making the changes on the document. Okay, let me know if any other questions.
Hi, Christine.
Hi.
I don't have an Outlook, email or anything. I don't use Outlook.
Mm-hmm.
I do have Microsoft, and I have Yahoo and Gmail, but it looks like if you go directly to Outlook and OneDrive and create an account there and everything,
Mm-hmm.
do you have, if you want to create a Word document or Excel, do you have to have Office 365 or something on your machine?
So what it is for the Office 365 and the Office Online are actually slightly different services, which I know can get a little confusing, but it is technically a different service. In the Microsoft Online, should come free with the OneDrive. It does have a little bit of like limitations, especially like file size, I think is smaller in the online version since it's free. So I think there's only so large a file can be before it cuts you off. But yeah, to use OneDrive, it's completely free, and I believe it's actually easy to use, like to send a OneDrive file to a Gmail and to open
Right.
it up there.
Okay. I understand that. And
Mm.
I guess when I set up my OneDrive, I didn't go into OneDrive.
Mm.
I did it through my Microsoft account.
Uh-huh.
I mean, when I go to my folders,
Mhm.
I have OneDrive. I mean, I've got
Yes.
my PC and everything,
Mhm.
and my password from Microsoft and Word and everything is the
Yes.
same from OneDrive. And it's like, I don't come up with this like OneDrive website.
Mhm. Yes, when we're actually, yeah, there was another thing I can touch on. Is it, yeah, when you create, when you get like, if you get a new PC and you create your Microsoft account on your new PC, that
Right.
counts towards OneDrive, yes. So yeah, some people may have OneDrive and not even realize it if they have a Microsoft PC.
Okay, so so I think I understand mine the way when I set up my OneDrive. Yes, I just did it from more of my Microsoft account. Really?
Yes.
So, okay.
I see, Melita, you have a question?
Yes,
Yes.
I use Outlook
Mhm.
because I used to have a Hotmail. Well, I still have a Hotmail account, so I use Outlook, but I never know whether it's outlook.com or Outlook. And when I sometimes click on a link, like when I'm in Zoom and I click on a link, it brings up the other Outlook, not the Outlook that I have.
Oh, okay.
So
Let's see. Yes, it should be outlook.com. Mine is specifically outlook.office.com because mine is through the library, which is slightly different. But should be, let's say I just go to Google and it should just be Outlook. You can do Outlook email and it should bring up the page for the sign in page. So here it says outlook.live.com. It's outlook.live.com. And you can click on it. You can click on it and you'll see the sign in the upper right there. And it should take you to the correct sign in for Outlook.
I get this all the time, what you have on your screen now.
Yes.
And it constantly, well, not constantly, but every few days, it keeps asking me to sign in. And then they send me a code and then I get in. And then 2 days later, the same thing happens. Like they don't seem to want to recognize me. This is recent.
Oh, I wonder if like after a certain amount of time, it just automatically logs off accounts for safety reasons, possibly.
But I use Outlook every day, every single day. So it's not like I haven't been using it.
Right. I have to look into that if there's some reason, if it, for some reason, Outlook signs out for any safety reasons or anything like that.
And then they send me a code and then I put the code in and then I get in. And then 2 days later, the same thing happens.
Same thing happens. Okay. I could look into that to see if there's anything, or also if there's any settings on your browser that for any reason, if you like close out your browser or turn off your device, if it wipes memory, I have that setting that if I turn off my computer, it automatically signs me out of all my accounts. So I do have to sign into Outlook every time I come into work.
Oh, okay.
So I wonder if there's any settings like that that might be set.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? We have about 5 more minutes. If any has any last minute questions.
Yes,
Have, mhm.
this is Deborah. I have OneDrive. Is there a way that you can increase your storage? 'Cause-
There is a way, because yeah, it comes with about 5 gigabytes free of storage. And then usually, unfortunately, you have to do like a monthly fee usually for any additional storage. Let me pull it up here. Because yes, they have storage limits.
Because I keep photos in there,
Mhm.
and I'm receiving a message that my storage is almost full.
Okay. Yes, it does say Microsoft 365 subscribers. So if you do buy the Microsoft 365, you get about 50 gigabytes. And then I believe after that, let me see. Yes, then usually there is an additional subscription service where I think is usually month by month.
Oh, okay,
So you would have to pay each month.
okay. Thank you.
You are welcome. Go. We are getting close to the wrap up point. I will, again, I have the YouTube class next month. So if you are interested in learning more about YouTube, searching YouTube, and I may even go into a little bit about uploading short videos on YouTube. That is my next month's class in August. Again, if you have any other additional questions, always feel free to email me at christinav@phlibrary.org, or you can always come into the public services desk. And we can answer any questions there. And I will send out the email with the additional links. It seemed like just about everybody wanted a copy, so I will send out the links to everybody who
Yes.
came in today. Yes.
Me too. Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right. I will send it out to everybody. Sounds like everybody wanted the links. So I have the links to additional learning for Outlook. All right. And then thank you everybody who came. I hope you all learned at least a little bit of something, and enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You're welcome.